I ran out and saw the cop car backing out with glass all over it.
An unusual sight at a Lexington store. Police say an officer accidentally hit a suspect and the building with his police cruiser. Still, many unanswered questions tonight after investigators say they found a man dead on the roof of a building on the UK campus.
It's been 3 months since a double homicide in Laurel County. Coming up here, what deputies have to say about the progression in this case.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening. Tonight, an arrest for disorderly conduct took a strange turn at a Lexington shopping center. Lexington police say an officer accidentally hit the handcuffed suspect and a store with his police cruiser. It happened about 6 o'clock tonight at the Family Dollar store on Southland Drive. The suspect had to be taken to the hospital. Sam Smith is tracking the investigation tonight. It's our top story at 11.
I heard one of my coworkers say, "Oh my gosh, he ran into the building."
A Lexington police cruiser crashed into this Family Dollar store. Katie Misbeck works at a neighboring business.
So I ran out and saw the cop car backing out with glass all over it, and that's when I saw the guy laying on the ground.
The guy she's talking about is the man police say was causing an annoyance in the area. Before the accident, an officer arrested the man for disorderly conduct. They say he was sitting on the sidewalk between the car and the store, handcuffed.
At some point during this encounter, the officer was in his car. He lost control of his car. The car lunged forward and struck the subject that he had arrested, and then they went into the business.
After the collision, the suspect was taken to UK hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police say it's difficult to tell at this stage of the investigation whether or not the suspect was pinned against the wall. The reconstruction team will investigate the wreck and will check with other businesses for surveillance footage. The officer involved was unharmed, but was visibly shaken up over what happened.
He seemed pretty torn up about it. It was all an accident.
In Lexington, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Police say the store had some damage after the crash, but it is structurally sound. Tonight, we're tracking a death investigation on the University of Kentucky campus. Police say someone found a man dead on a roof this afternoon. They say someone walking nearby noticed the man on the roof of a residence hall on South Limestone that houses graduate students. Investigators say the man was dead when they got there. They used a rope rescue system to get the body off the roof. Investigators are not sure what caused the man's death, but at this point, they do not suspect foul play.
We're still looking at it at this time to find out exactly why he was on the roof. We don't know at this point. We're interviewing residents to try to determine that.
The man's name has not been released, and police say he was not a student at UK. They say he was subleasing one of the rooms inside the residence hall from a UK grad student. Showers and storms bringing rain to parts of the bluegrass today and tonight. Looks like even more could be on the way tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at that forecast. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Sam. Indeed, my man. The showers and storms tomorrow afternoon into the evening likely to be a little more widespread than what we've had over the past couple of days. The steam, though, is going to stick with us. Look outside at your late evening thermometer. We're still hugging 80 degrees into parts of the area. A lot of upper 70s to around 80. We mentioned some of those showers and storms from earlier in the day, putting down some localized heavy rains. All the colors on here indicate some areas that at least picked up some raindrops today. Not a whole lot of raindrops. Individual spots here into northeastern Kentucky especially, maybe picking up a quarter of an inch, maybe an isolated 1 inch amount here or there across parts of Morgan County. Live First Alert Defender, hey, nothing is out there across central and eastern Kentucky now. The lion's share of the rain has been off to our north and northwest. Planning your Tuesday out the door. It's another muggy one tomorrow morning. Touch of fog, mid-70s. Lunchtime, could see a shower or thunderstorm developing already. Mid and upper 80s coming up for the trip home with some showers and storms around. Watch out for some locally heavy downpours. Something else to watch out for over the next several days. Tropical Storm Bill has formed right on cue. Sam, in the western Gulf of Mexico coming up in a few minutes. We'll show you why this may turn the corner and bring a little rain to Kentucky. That's in about 10 minutes.
Thank you, Chris. 3 months later and still no arrests. Tonight, investigators tell us they need your help as they try to figure out who killed a Laurel County couple and set their home on fire. Donnie and Sharon Jackson were found dead in their home back in March. Neighbors tell us not knowing who is responsible still worries them. Jordan Valines has the update new at 11.
It was an incident that sent shockwaves through the small community of Lilly.
It's a little nerve-wracking as neighbors.
The morning of March 8th, deputies found Donnie and Sharon Jackson shot to death in their home.
Whoever shot them apparently set the trailer on fire to cover up the crime.
No witnesses and no arrests,
Whoever set the fire is still out there.
leaving neighbors like Colin's Story increasingly uneasy.
We don't open the door after dark.
No, we lock it.
But investigators say in order to nail down new leads on a suspect, they need new tips from the public.
We've interviewed everybody that we could possibly interview, and we're still getting leads in on this. Not very often, but we still are getting some tips from the public.
3 months later, the reward sign that now sits in the front yard of the Jacksons' home is a reminder to neighbors about what happened behind the boarded up windows. And hopefully the reminder and the reward will lead to new information in this case.
We've got some people out there, or a person out there running around that has killed 2 individuals in a very violent crime, and we need to take them off the streets and put them where they need to be, in jail.
In jail and away from the possibility of potentially destroying yet another innocent life. In Laurel County, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
The reward for the arrest and conviction of the people responsible for the deaths of Donnie and Sharon Jackson is set at $10,000. New tonight, a man has been airlifted to the hospital after police say a Grant County Sheriff's deputy shot him. It happened earlier tonight at a mobile home park near Crittenden. Police say the man pointed an assault rifle at the deputy and fired. Police say the deputy fired back, hitting the man in the face and chest. That man's condition is not known right now. The deputy was not injured. Tonight, investigators are trying to figure out what led up to a deadly accident at the Boone National Guard Center in Frankfort. They say that 23-year-old Brandon Cloud of Harlan County was killed and another man badly injured when a snorkel boom turned over this morning. Investigators say both men are civilian contractors. They were installing siding on an aircraft hangar at the time. The injured contractor was airlifted to UK Hospital. Investigators say he is in critical condition tonight. The family of a Whitley County boy hit and killed by a school bus hopes the tragedy can be turned into something that saves lives. 10-year-old Jonathan Chatham died in March, moments after getting off the bus near his home. Investigators say it appears he cleared the bus, went into the ditch, then came back under the bus. But his family thinks something else brushed Jonathan, causing him to fall under the bus. In an exclusive interview, his grandmother told us the family doesn't blame the bus driver for what happened, but they question a driver's ability to see children at the bottom of the bus steps.
There's either not a mirror that sees there to notice that the kids are there, or perhaps there should be a camera monitoring that area.
The family says they want a better understanding of exactly what happened so it can help others. The bus no longer stops on the side of the road where Jonathan died. It now stops in a nearby driveway. We reached out to the Whitley County School Board multiple times to get an update on the investigation, but we have not heard back. Tonight, police are trying to figure out if a string of burglaries targeting veterinarian clinics are connected. In the last few weeks, police say 2 clinics in Lexington and 1 in Richmond have been broken into. The owner of the clinic in Richmond says the burglars stole prescription pet medicines, including heartworm, flea, and tick products. He says those items are often resold.
I feel like it's an organized group who has a way to get money for this product pretty quickly.
Lexington police are looking over surveillance video from the 2 burglaries here. So far, they have not made any arrests. If your home or business had damage during the April floods and you want to apply for federal help, time is running out. You have until June 30th to apply for a disaster loan through FEMA or the Small Business Administration. Federal leaders say money is available for flood victims in Bath, Bourbon, Franklin, Madison, Rowan, and Scott counties. The federal government has set aside nearly $6 million for Kentucky flood relief. New tonight, a rally was held in Washington, D.C. today to support rural hospitals. According to the National Rural Health Association, since January of 2013, more rural hospitals have closed in the previous 10 years combined. While healthcare companies may be closing hospitals to save money, those at today's rally said it also costs lives.
Normally in our town is small. We're not more than a half an hour from the emergency room. Now we're an hour and a half. And anybody has any kind of emergency, it's got a problem.
Nicholas County Hospital is among those smaller hospitals that has closed. It shut its doors last year. Over the weekend, former employees told us they're still waiting on their final paycheck.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
New tonight, investigators now say a New York prison worker accused of helping two convicted killers escape may have wanted them to help kill her husband. 51-year-old Joyce Mitchell already faces a felony charge in connection to the escape. A law enforcement source told CBS News there was an agreement between Mitchell and the two escapees that once out of prison, they would kill her husband, Lyle. But investigators say Mitchell told them she was worried about her husband.
That was one of her final statements that she made to us, that she did love Lyle and that she didn't want to hurt him in that way.
Now, police are still looking for the two escapees. They say they've installed motion sensors and surveillance cameras in the woods near the prison. Investigators are trying to figure out what caused the death of a man in Bell County. Police say 38-year-old David Mason was found dead today in some woods near his home. Right now, they're calling this a death investigation, but they have not ruled out foul play. Mason's body has been sent to Frankfurt for an autopsy. Two people injured in a weekend shooting outside a Somerset hotel have been released from the hospital. Investigators say 26-year-old James Mannequin and 69-year-old Johnny Wardrip were shot Saturday night outside America's Best Value Inn. So far, police have not made any arrests for the actual shooting. They did charge Christopher McCracken with carrying a concealed weapon and evidence tampering. Police say some motorcycle riders pulled into the parking lot, warned some other people to get inside, and then opened fire.
Our detectives have conducted a number of interviews and collected a lot of evidence. We've recovered a lot of guns. We do know that a number of people there were armed, both illegally and legally.
Police say other than some kind of argument, they cannot say what the motive was for the shooting. Today, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush made it official he is seeking the Republican nomination for president. He kicked off his campaign this afternoon during a rally in Florida. He is a son of former President George H.W. Bush and the brother of former President George W. Bush. He focused his speech on 2 terms as Florida governor.
We made Florida #1 in job creation and #1 in small business creation. 1.3 million new jobs.
Bush did leave his famous last name off his official campaign logo. He is the 11th Republican to announce plans to seek the party's 2016 presidential nomination. Fellow Republican candidate and Kentucky U.S. Senator Rand Paul responded by saying there's Bush-Clinton fatigue in the country. A Johnson County teenager will step into the national spotlight in a big way tomorrow night before Game 6 of the NBA Finals. Marlana Van Hoos will sing the national anthem in Cleveland before the game between the Cavaliers and the Warriors. She was born blind, but she's performed in front of large crowds in Kentucky and around the country. She says she's not nervous about singing tomorrow night.
Woo! I like the announcer. I mean, he's a character. Cleveland, it's time to get on your feet. Let's meet the starting lineup for your Cleveland Cavaliers.
Well, she may have an opportunity to be an announcer, too. Van Hoos has already performed the national anthem before some UK sporting events and even some professional games. We know that she is going to do a great job for us.